Welcome to Marifado. Every melanin-dominant human is born into a pool of totems, basically 2 plus more, comprising of first paternal, that is your mother and your father, then parents and grandparents on both sides, then other members of your clan or of family as your spiritual crest. Totemism is an important aspect of Bantu identifying systems which were and are under constant attack by Christian missionaries, Muslims, and others who denigrate them as demonic, pagan, and billions of melanin-dominant humans now live their lives empty without their totems. There are 9 questions that we have to deal with. First question, what is a totem? What is your totem? How can you know it's the correct one? When did Totemism begin? Why should melanin-dominant humans activate their totems? Can totems be lost, forgotten, or changed? Is it possible for melanin-dominant humans to adopt a new totem? Why you need your totem? HTP, so-called HOTEP, is not HOTEP. Let's deal with this and let's look a little bit on what our scholars think when they hear totems. That it is summarized as follows: as an exogamous clan. Clan is blood related individuals. Exogamous, it means they are marrying outside of their own clan or their totem. A clan name derived from the totem, this is correct. A religious attitude towards the totem as a friend, brother, or protector, not as a friend, not as a brother, not even as a protector to a large extent. Then they say taboos or restrictions against the killing, eating, sometimes touching and seeing. Touching and seeing, that's not there. These scholars, what they're saying here is not correct. Killing, yes, but there are conditions where you can eat your totems. It's not what you should do daily, because you should respect and honor it, but there are conditions and the rituals that can be performed when you change your totem. So scholars here, these 5 points that scholars bring forth are not correct. A belief in descent from the totem, this is not very, very correct again. It's almost 90% there, but the 10% where you say belief, then that is where we differ. Totems and melanin-dominant original humans, there is not even one human, so-called black, brown, African, or African American, or anywhere on earth who has biological parents and is totemless. Ubuntu Maat consciousness tells us that every melanin-dominant human who has walked on the earth has totem. So you should have your totem ready and useful. What is a totem? We all know that a totem is a natural object, a body, organ, plant or animal that is key to a number of various personal psychological potentials within you. It is an emblem of your clan, tribe, and race. Without it, you do not belong to the melanin-dominant human family. What is an emblem? An emblem is a visible sign of an idea, an object, or the figure of an object, symbolizing and suggesting another object or an idea by natural aptness or by association. A figurative representation of a typical designation. A symbol as a balance is an emblem of justice. A sceptre, the emblem of sovereignty or power. A circle, the emblem of eternity. So that's the totem clearly defined there. Here are the examples of totems. These are found mostly in Southern Africa, so-called SADC region. They may have other names in other languages of the Nguni or Bantu tribes. Moyo, Moyo Chirantu, Moyo Signoro, Moyo Dewa. Moyo Signoro is assumed to have Portuguese blood. Shumba Nyamziwa, Shumba Mazi, Samaita, Shumba Nechinanga, and Shumba Mrambwe. Nzo Samanyanga is an elephant. Shumba is a lion. shava mwendamberi, shava nyakudirwa, shava msiyamwa, shava mfakose, shava mtenesanwa. This is also mpofu eland. Soko, which is the monkey. Wafawanaka, also known as Nube, Piri, Mukanya, Soko kumene, Soko mrewa, Soko vujizena. Gushungo o ngwenya o bakwena. Nyati, found in Pare or Mtaro or Sape, is a buffalo. Gwai is a sheep or ochuma. Mbano, maposa, nungu, ngara, porcupine. Mbeva, shiri, nyoni, hungwe. Hove, shiri is bird, mbeva is red or mice. Hove is fish, siziba, mlambo, mtlanga, mbizi, tempo is zebra, and the dziba is hippo. Dziba and hove, all that are one and the same totems, but here these scholars split them. So totems is identity of all melanin dominant humans. This is very critical area we are concerned with when we deal with the totems. Anytime we deal with the totems and the origins of totems, not only the lion totem as we have indicated here, but any other totem, this is the Great Lakes area, specifically these Luba people. It is quite clear that they also went into West Africa, into Nigeria, Ghana. They also went north, and when they went north, that's when we know they started to develop and civilize Hamid along the Nile, and then crossed into Asia, China, India, and Australia. And they came south, filled all the southern Africa as we have already indicated. And this is also the area, the same people that were taken into Haiti, taken into America, taken into Central America and the islands as enslaved with various totems we have already indicated there of various lands. So when they are in Central America, they adopt animals that are similar to the tiger, that are similar to the leopard. That's how they do so, because they carry their totems across the oceans, and in memory they see animals that are related to these animals they had in Central Great Lakes region in Africa. This is the origins and spread of melanin dominant totems on the earth beginning 300,000 years ago. These are the people that you can see, and the green ones are known to be the older brothers or older tribes. So very, very interesting here. So they spread into the Western Sudan, which you call West Africa today, and these are their totems. Some of their totems, not all of them. What is your totem? And how can you know it's the correct one? For you to know is the correct one, there are 7 steps which you use to rediscover your totems. And then you have to activate them. There is no African descendant who is totemless. Do you know your totem? Do you know your totems? Are they activated? To learn more, contact us on join@marifado.com. Apparently, if you are interested, you can also purchase our book. Offers you certain steps and certain keys. When did Totemism begin? If you believe in spirit-filled life and or an afterlife, you are an animist, and the animism is your religion. But you may be in a low vibrational gem. If you're a Christian, if you're a Muslim, if you're a Jew, you are missing the mark, and you are likely to be reincarnated because you have ignored ancestor reverence. It can be proved that animism started approximately 300,000 years ago. This is what this man has done here, Damien Marie at Hope. His website, you can go, he's a blogger, and he has indicated that animism is a belief based on the spiritual idea that the universe and all natural objects within the universe have souls or spirit or activating or animating energy. You cannot ignore that. There are scientists that are coming and trying to throw away that and saying it's thermodynamically and it's chemically still is the same. It's activating it. It is believed that souls or spirits exist not only in humans but also in animals, plants, trees, rocks, etc. Refer animal totems. Animism forms the foundation of several modern religions that borrow from the beliefs and incorporate some of the ideas, i.e. spirits, ghosts, Holy Spirit, evil spirit, or souls. The major religions of today can trace their roots back to early animistic faiths based on the inclusion of some of these key characteristics. Totemism is one great point. Totems point to cosmogony. What is cosmogony? Cosmogony is the theory or the story or the narrative of the origin of the universe. Aboriginal cosmogony begins with what is called a dream time in very, very long time ago. Totemic spirituality is also an earthly practice. It cannot be divorced from the earthly practice. So what are the benefits of totems? Ancestral spiritual identity. Totems define individuals, tribal and racial beingness, as well as allocate well-defined roles and responsibilities to enable you to fulfill your earthly purpose, so you do not continuously reincarnate. Very, very important. Number 2, benefit of totems is empowerment. Number 3, stewardship. They conserve nature, uphold the true stewardship of the earth, relationships with each other and all creation. And number 4, the benefits of totems, traditional authority. Last but not least, totems help to sustain interconnectedness so as to maintain order and sustainability. The creation ancestors laid out not only the foundations of all life, but the righteous law we call Ubuntu Ma'ati, where everything is connected to everything, and the destruction of one causes the imbalance of the other. So the problems we face as Bantus could be 100% connected with our ignorance of how we can activate totems. But how do we activate totems? Yes, how do we do that? Let's give a few examples on how totems are key to our breaking off the reincarnation logjam. Let us say your totem is lion. It would then be your source animal. That is a direct connection ancestrally and spiritually. Your physical soul on both physical and mental planes have the duty to never waver from the challenges in life, just like your totem, the lion. You have the requirement to tackle your problems without backing off, just like a lion or the lion if it is your totem. The lion power animal confers the attribute of being cunning and brave to its believers too. This therefore means that one can outdo their opponents regardless of the first footing. So you can look at your totem and look at the attributes of your totems, paternal and maternal, and see where you incline the most. But remember, as lions go to sleep and can easily be cheated through training, so too our totems can go to sleep and fall asleep. Now, you can use other totems if you desire certain attributes from those totems, but that does not change your primary totems. It is what we know as spirit possession. You can go to another family and be given a spirit from that family, and you can use it. Even though your totem is lion, you can use the monkey spirit to do some things. That's what we call spirit possession. Here is our powerful note that we are promised. Since totems were used by our ancestors and we now use them in both a spiritual sense, attributes clipping, as well as physical real energy, we therefore learn from our ancient Egyptian, Nubian, and Cushitic mysteries that totems are the divinities, so-called gods and goddesses. So your totem or totems is or are a personal god or a personal divinity. In this sense, although only melanin dominant humans have totems, others have tattoos which they use to mirror totemic power, since totems can be dormant, asleep, or awake. Millions of melanin dominant humans ignore their totems, just like a man or a woman who ignores or does not know how to fire he is gone and is killed by anything. Your totems must be active, not asleep. Your interaction with the ancestors and divinities is the most powerful connection that your totems gives you to connect to the galaxy, to connect to the cosmos, to understand cosmogony, to have power, and to use those attributes of totems. This is the reason why you should have totems. It is your personal divinity which has been with your ancestral line since time immemorial. Yes, we can use other divinities that we know today, Anubis, we can use other Ausari and so forth, but that is now on a next level kind of life, because at this primary level we must learn to use the divinities. There is a reason why we must have totems, because they train us to use divinity. So-called gods are divine totemic principles. Very few people teach this. Very few teachers teach this. This is the connection where they say ancient Egyptians worshipped animals or had many gods. It's not like that. There it is. The key is given here. So-called gods are divine totemic principles. Spiritual science. This is totems. This is where the totems have led us to. But it's not Hotep. We have heard a lot of people saying Hotep, Hotep, Hotep. We have to agree to differ here and say that HTP, this symbol, may not mean peace or sacrifice, but hutupo, meaning totems. So you cannot go to somebody and say totem, totem, totem. You have to utter the totem. How are you Mslwane? How are you Mlambo? Mlambo is the totem. You are already saying Hotep when you say that. You don't have to say Hotep. Totems are your growth tools. And if you call your totems continuously, you are connecting with the divinities. And eventually you connect with the ancestors. And you go to the higher level divinities. They are growth too. Since melanin dominant humans are to develop into the next level, Neteru, divinities, we are to collectively become Neteru during our lives by using all our tools. And one of the greatest tools that you can use is totems. Only then will reincarnation for you and for all cease. This is the next evolutionary level after spending lifetimes as a melanin dominant human to become a divinity, a Neteru. This is the reason why you should not entertain to live your life without totems, without your totems. Marifado is a mystery school. If you wish to be involved, send us an email on join@marifado.com. Subscribe to our channel, Hamid Ibru Ethics. This preacher Rabbi Elem Dimizulu saying we are rebuilding our greatness. From Tatenda, Siabonga, you must never entertain the idea of not having your totems activated. Have a good day.